everybody, and welcome. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast. This is episode 13, and we are your hosts. I am David, we have Kenny, and we have Jerry. And this is a podcast where we provide uncensored takes on anime. And this week, we got no fucking idea what we're going to be talking about, but we got, some news. The week that we're filming this episode, the PS5 came out, which you might see it. Yeah, I have a PS5. Fucking losers.
Fucking losers. That guy David, he's got a PS5, you son of a bitch.
Fuck you, bro.
But yeah, I mean, this is a very relaxed episode, very chill. We're just going to shoot the shit. And Jerry, is there anything specific you want to start off with? You told us before we started recording that you have a interesting story. So I think we should open up with that.
Yeah, sure, man. So yeah, we're just having a fun episode. This episode, we're just filling some space, filling some time. We obviously talk about anime every week, but and we're going to talk about anime tonight. We have some shit to talk about, but we're not going to review anything tonight again. We originally had a guest planned, and it just keeps falling through, so we're just sort of adjusting, kind of doing something on the fly. I think mainly all that we're watching right now is Akudama Drive and Jujutsu Kaisen, so if you guys keep up with that, keep watching those shows. What are you watching, David?
Yuakakeru, sports, climbing girls, and Tonikawa.
Tonikawa.
I have stayed up with Tonikawa. I like that show.
Yeah, I'm watching.
And I'm standing on a million lives.
That's the worst one of the whole season, David. You've made a fatal mistake. You've made a fatal mistake.
I'm still watching Yashahime this season. I'm watching.
Oh, I didn't even start Yashahime yet.
As well. Danmachi had a really good episode last week, and tomorrow the new episode comes out. So
we haven't even talked about shit that was returning.
Yeah, I'm about to say it, yeah.
Like Yashahime,
obviously.
You can't really watch Yashahime. I mean, can you watch Yashahime without having watched Inuyasha? Do you think people could do it?
Yeah, bro. If you saw my Unraveled about Inuyasha, that's all you basically needed.
That was all you actually.
Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Inuyasha was a nothing. It was a whole ball of nothing.
How many Shikon jewels do they have in Yashahime, dude?
Zero Shikon jewels. They destroyed the Shikon jewel, even though the whole point of the anime was to put the Shikon jewel together.
The jewel is gone.
Yeah, or is it just?
Yeah,
it's all filler.
It's canon. How?
Yeah, I think so.
Prove it.
Right?
Rumiko Takahashi. They brought her ass back to write a story about Boruto. I mean Yashahime, dude.
Yeah, bro. It's just
got him.
Are you liking it so far, Kenny?
Yeah, I mean it's a good Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, I'm about to say, does it have any any? It's not gonna hold up, is it?
No, it's got the same Inuyasha formula.
That sounds miserable.
Is it Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, Jujutsu Kaisen's good, bro.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
I like watching Yashahime though. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
But you also like Danmachi, and that's another show that's just having its. Is this its second or third season?
Third. Which
Jesus.
is weird because the second season was fairly recent, but they've only done 12 episodes. Even though it's super popular, every time it comes out, they only do 12 episodes.
So what you're telling me is there's only 3. There's now this is the third season of 12 episodes that they're doing.
I don't know if this one. We only have 6 episodes out right now, but it's probably going to be 12. They've done 2 seasons of 12 episodes.
That's pretty weird, actually. But I mean, Haikyuu followed a similar formula. I guess they did 24 to start, but then they did 12, 12, 10. Some animes that's what they do. Is there a lot of source material for what's it? I mean, it's called Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, right?
Yeah, Danmachi. It's actually, I think it's called Familia Oratoria is the light novel. Yeah, there's an ass load. There's an ass load of stuff. It's a light novel.
I'm yawning so much. It's not even that late at night. I don't know why I'm out here yawning.
Based off a light novel, okay?
All right, so
boring you, Jerry?
No, honestly, not at all. This has been.
Y'all missed Dallas Beardy's Club. You got to check that new podcast out.
There's no new bearded podcast. Hey, I was the beard before you guys. Kenny, your beard's been gone. Kenny, check your cords. You're ringing.
I'm ringing?
Yeah.
Ring a ding ding.
Can you hear it too, David?
I can't hear it.
Hello?
Yeah, every time you talk, it goes buzz.
Is there a cricket in your room?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to unplug and plug back in.
Yeah, unplug, plug back in.
All right. So while Kenny's figuring that out, Jerry, please lay it on us with your story.
Yeah.
More than anything, I just really want
You're not ringing anymore, Kenny. Okay, so
Okay, what's up?
Here's the dealio. Tonight, my wife and I, we decided we wanted to go on a little walk. There's a little park right by our house. So right after work at about 5 o'clock, we got dressed and we were like, okay, let's go on a little walk. And if you don't know, right now, around 5 o'clock, it's already starting to get dark, right? Like, by about 5:30, it's actually the sun's pretty much down here in Texas. And that's cool, we didn't really worry about it. There's usually a lot of people out at the park at this time anyway, so we were like, okay, no big deal. And so we actually ended up leaving our house at 5:25, 5:30. So the sun was actually already starting to go down. And we were just like, okay, we'll go make our little lap and then we'll walk back to the house. It never been an issue. There's always a lot of people out there walking, and there was today. A lot of people out there walking. So we kind of, we didn't wear a mask this time. We definitely should have, and I'll tell you why. But traditionally, when I go out for a little walk, I don't really wear a mask. I don't think about it because it's I'm usually not in contact with people, and I just walk this path by myself, and I go up and around. But I should have today, and I'll tell you why. So we're walking our route, and avoiding people. We don't really come in contact with anyone. We're going our little route, and as we round a corner, these two, probably 16, 17-year-old kids, two little guys, they just kind of jump up from their little gondola that they're sitting at, and they start walking towards us. And at first, it didn't seem like they were walking at us. It just kind of looked like they were walking in the same direction as us. So Alyssa and I kind of veered to just kind of dot, expecting that they were walking in the same direction. They were going to kind of walk ahead of us, whatever. So we kind of veered at first to just kind of let them pass. But as we kind of veered, Alyssa and I kind of separated because they were coming from this angle like this. So Alyssa kind of slowed down, I kind of sped up, and they ended up kind of between Alyssa and I. And I realized as I'm kind of getting in front of this kid, that this kid is walking at me, and he's walking close to me, speeding up to kind of walk close to me. And I kind of look back and I realized A, that he's not wearing a t-shirt, and B, that he's at this point he's bumping into me, bumping into my arm. And I'm like, oh dude, I'm like, hey, I don't really want to be touched. And he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, what? I was like, what are you doing, man? And he just keeps walking into me, just bumping into me. And I was like, what is this kid doing? And this is a little kid. I mean, he's not a little kid. He's 16, but couldn't have been more than 5'8". So quite a few inches shorter than me, and couldn't have been more than 120 pounds, a little skater kid kind of look. He had kind of a bob cut. He was wearing a little choker necklace, no t-shirt for some reason, and some tight jeans. And I'm just what is going on? Why is this kid bumping into me? All of a sudden he starts touching my arms. He's reaching out, grabbing my arms. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I was like, I just said I don't want to be touched. And he's like, oh yeah, you don't want to be touched? And so then he gets his back up against he gets his chest up against my back. And I'm just walking, what are you doing? And suddenly he just puts his arms around me, around my chest. And at this point I'm kind of bucking him off. I'm like, dude, what what are you doing? And I'm like, why are you grabbing me right now? And his little friend is trailing just a little bit. His friend didn't touch me. His friend was kind of a foot or two behind us is the word I would use. And the friend is just kind of not saying anything, but the little dude is just latching on to me. And I'm like, why is this guy on me? And so at this point I'm like, okay, I don't want to touch these kids. That was my immediate thought, was I don't want to touch these children. So I just put my hands up because I was I don't want to get in trouble for pushing these kids down or something. So I was dude, I was literally let go of me. I was stop touching me. And he was oh yeah, you want me to stop? You want me to stop? And I was yes. I was legit, dude. I was yes, stop touching me and go away. And he's oh, what are you gonna do? I'm just some kid. And I was yeah, you're just some kid. Go sit down. Go back to where you were sitting. And so finally he lets go of my abdomen because I'm kind of bucking him off. He lets go of my abdomen, and I kind of turn and I look at him, and I put my arms out like this. I said, go sit down. I was just go sit down. And he kind of stops, and I think he realizes how big I am at this point. And he kind of stops moving, and he's looking at me. And then Alyssa comes around the corner, because Alyssa kind of veered, like we were walking, and then Alyssa like veered this way, and I veered this way. So Alyssa kind of scoops back around, and Alyssa looks at the kid that was farther back, and she's like, "I'm gonna call the fucking police." And I was taken aback because I was like, "Alyssa, you don't have to call the police." I was like, just some weird ass kids. But I'll admit they like kind of followed us like a quarter of a mile, like a pretty long distance. Like they followed us a pretty good amount of distance down the road, down this little path. And
why are they
the whole time I'm thinking like, oh shit, like they don't have masks on, I don't have my mask on. I was like, this kid was like grabbing me, like latching onto me. I was like, this is weird. So my immediate thought was like, oh shit, was he trying to give me COVID? Like, is he trying to like super spread right now? Is he like some COVID infested kid just like latching onto people as they walk by and like trying to spread it? But he wasn't like coughing on me or like acting like, you know what I mean? He wasn't like pretending, like if he was trying to like, you know, be like a little juvenile and like pretend like he was spreading COVID or act like it, he would have probably been like, hey, you know, but none of that. He was just like touching me, which was even weirder. I was like, why is he just touching me? So when Alyssa said she was going to call, she said, I'm going to call the fucking cops. All of a sudden, you know, the kid's like, oh, well, you'd be calling the cops on just some kids. And the other kid, the kid that was grabbing me, is like, what, you need your girlfriend to fight your battles? I was like, well, first off, she's my wife. And I was like, second off, you guys shouldn't be touching like, you shouldn't be grabbing people. I was like, this is weird. And the little dude is like, yeah, I don't care. You know, he's like, I don't care. And I'm like, this is weird. And at this point, I'm like, listen, let's just keep walking. And so we just keep walking. And Alyssa's like, I'm calling the cops. And they're like, no, you're not. And she like clicks call, like right, and like shows it to him. And at this point, they kind of like about face and finally start walking away from us. And I was like, what the hell? And Alyssa's like, hello? And like starts talking to the cop, the person, and starts telling him the situation. And the kids didn't like run off. They just like walked slowly back to where they were sitting. So like, and they were just sitting there as we walked away. So Alyssa was like, yeah, here's their location. See if you can go catch them. And Alyssa and I just kept walking. And Alyssa was really shook up about it because I think she was just worried. Like they were trying to, like, we didn't know what their end goal was. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do when someone like does that to you? Like we couldn't tell if they were just being weird or like, were they trying to steal something from us? Were they trying to like get us to fight them? You know, were they trying to like actually like, did they have some sort of weapon? Were they going to assault us? We had no idea. So we were just kind of like, all right, you know, what do we do? So we call the cops. The cop comes out pretty quickly actually. But we had already kind of like walked pretty far away, and the cop calls us again and he's like, hey, I don't know if I found them or not, but I'm going to keep looking. We kind of give them a description. He said that he eventually found some kids that he was pretty sure was them, just talked to them like, hey, you guys messing with people at the park? Their parents were there, and I guess sent them away with their parents because, you know, the kid didn't do anything to me. He didn't take anything. He didn't hurt me at all. He didn't hurt Alyssa or even, they didn't even touch Alyssa. They, you know, for the most part, they avoided her. But it was just weird. It was just a weird experience. I was like, what the frick are these kids doing? And yeah, I just started thinking, I was like, dang, like what, you know, were they trying to spread COVID? Were they trying to steal something from us? Or were they just being weird? Like that, you know, like at the end of the day, like I couldn't tell like what of those three things they were trying to do. And it seemed odd that they like centered us out, I guess, like of all the people walking. And this was a busy, like I said, the trail, there was probably, you know, 2 or 3 people quite a bit back from us. And there was 2 or 3 people in front of us on the trail. So there were other people walking the same path. And like I said, like, a couple more people coming that way. And even then there was a couple people over in like the other part of the park area, including some moms. There was even like a little yoga group doing yoga, like right on the other side of this little trail. So overall, like, it's not like they could have done anything and like gotten away with, like, you know what I mean? Like, what were they expecting? Like there were people just about everywhere. And I get it that it was like it was like a little bit dark out. It was like starting to get dark out. But it was just very odd. And yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to do. But yeah, my biggest worry is like, oh, I hope they weren't like COVID positive and they're just like sitting at this park, like trying to COVID people or something. COVID, bro. Because that would be weird, right? Like that would be fucking weird. Really strange. But I think, I mean, if they did, I think that we would have had to have a little bit more prolonged contact to have picked it up. Because essentially they jumped on us. But yeah, I don't know, boys. Oh shoot, I can't. I've talked for so long, my headset turned off again.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is me, Kenny.
No, I can hear you now.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
This is what I have to tell you, man, okay?
Mm-hmm.
drugs are fucking weird, okay? And kids especially don't know how to deal with doing them properly. And so I would bet more often than not in those types of situations, kids are on drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I was asked, like, did they like smell like anything weird?
yeah,
or...
they smell like weed.
And I know what marijuana smells like, and I know what the general look of someone. And I like, this kid was wrapped around me. I looked him right in the damn eyes. They did not look to be on any sort of drugs. So I'm not sure if he was on anything, and if he was, maybe like a hallucinogen or something. But you know, mushrooms or a tab of acid or something. But pretty
goddamn Thursday.
Yeah, like what? Right, like what was he doing?
Kids are fucking dumb, bro. Okay, any day that they can get their hands on shit like that is whenever they do it. So,
So that was
5
completely.
p.m.
Yeah, 5 p.m. on a Thursday. Yeah, what's going on?
So this actually reminds me of a story about Jerry that I'd like to tell you guys.
What?
Me and Jerry went to high school together. Okay, we're 3.5 years apart.
So did you and David.
Yeah, I know, but this is more important than me.
All of us were in high school together.
Okay. So I was a freshman whenever he was a senior, and one time my brother Jerry didn't. So this poor. Okay, imagine like just a small, frail freshman or sophomore in high school who is probably carrying a big trapper keeper, or maybe has a big backpack on. His clothes don't fit right. Maybe he hasn't taken a shower in a couple days. Put that idea in your mind, okay? And one time Jerry was just walking down the hallway with some kind of purpose. I don't know what. Jerry moves in a brisk pace, okay? And we were walking down the hallway, and it was fucking hilarious. And he just did not see this kid. He steps on this kid's foot. So he can't move, right? This kid is not bigger than Jerry. He steps onto this kid's foot, and Jerry's like briskly walking, and he like slams this little kid into the lockers. And it was just so funny to me because it almost didn't even register in Jerry's mind that this just happened. He literally just like plowed through this little kid, and it was so funny to me because it was like, wow. There was like no awareness in his walking. And so I imagine that this poor kid was grabbing onto you and you just wanted to slam him into the lockers, man. You're a big high school bully.
Jerry's a bully confirmed.
I don't even remember doing that. So that's
that too, actually.
I don't remember that happening. So that's sad.
Even recently, bro, I remember we were at a mall and this kid walked in your path and you just fucking knocked him over.
I did plow some kid through the other day. Yeah, at a mall.
Jerry has no awareness.
That was pretty honest. Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious.
I had a goal. I was walking in the mall and I was going somewhere, and I mean the kid was just like running around, but I definitely was not.
He meandered in front of Jerry.
Yeah, no, the kid ran in front of me. He didn't meander.
He wasn't running.
He was.
I feel
he
like
was definitely
I've
running
into Jerry a few times.
He's a little kid, bro. He
no,
little baby legs.
I know he wasn't meandering. Makes it sound like he was just but no, he was like kind of like dashing back and forth, like playing with his stuff. And his mom was chasing him, and that's when I fucking plowed him.
Much farther away, bro.
That's when I plowed into him.
The kid cried, bro.
The kid was trying. The mom was trying to get the kid back in. But yeah, honestly, if there's a little kid running around and I'm trying to go somewhere, and there's a bunch of other people around, I'm not trying to look out for some kid. So I mean, the reason why it hit so hard is that it's not like I was running. You know, I was walking at a normal or a brisk pace, but not like I wasn't running.
He had the pop walk on. Let's be totally honest.
Yeah, I was walking. I was walking with intention, and this kid smacks into my thigh and falls on his ass.
Destination. You had to get there.
Right, and I was bobbing and weaving because generally when you're in a mall, you know, you've got like crowds around. This was pre-COVID. And I was walking to a place and there was people, so I was dodging and bobbing and weaving and making my way towards that spot. And the kid just right into my thigh and his head hit my thigh and he fell all the way on his ass, dude. I mean, just flat on his ass.
Just started bawling.
He just fell, yeah. And I mean...
He started crying and Jerry was like, what?
That was not... Again, that was like... I just turned around and I was like, fuck that kid. I don't know. It's not my fault if someone is like... That's like saying like, oh, Jerry, like, the next time you're walking, like, you need to be just like dodging every little kid running around. Like, I don't know. That's not 100% my fault. The kid had fault there. He was not completely faultless. Is what I'm saying.
I would go ahead and say, man, next time you're walking, dodge every little kid around.
It's not possible, dude. Like sometimes
it's something that
people bump into each other
naturally. That's a natural occurrence for me. Okay,
you're just always dodging little kids. Well, you're not having little kids running out in front of you, dude. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The next time someone runs out in front of you, Kitty, you're gonna plow them right there, and you're gonna go, "Oh shit, I did it."
Yeah,
you're never gonna sneak.
So welcome to the Uncensored Anime Podcast.
We're talking about anime. We're going to talk about.
Honestly, guys, I want to know. Like, I want to know, viewers at home, like, what was that kid trying to do to me today at the park? Like, what was he trying to do? Like, what was his end goal? Viewers at home, comment down below.
I think he just needed a friend. He just needed a friend.
Maybe
in probably months.
What was he trying to do?
He was really wanting some affection. And
dude,
he saw you as a very huggable person. I'm gonna hug you.
Yeah.
If I get diagnosed with COVID in like 4 days, I'm gonna shit a brick, dude. I'm gonna be so mad.
He was giving you COVID then.
I would be like, this little COVID monkey.
At least you'll know the intention. God damn it, Leo.
Yeah, he's going in and out. But yeah, this kid was.
My cat's indecisive.
This kid was pretty ruthless. And it was just really weird.
But honestly, Jerry, I'm happy that it wasn't like gremlins trying to rob you or something.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I was grateful for. I mean, and I didn't get like. The one thing I was telling Alyssa the whole time is like nothing about the interaction like made me think I was in any danger, if that makes any sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone approaches you with like the intent to harm you, you can kind of like feel that intent. But these kids just kind of like, they were just giving me like weird kid vibes. Like, you know what I mean? Like kids that just like genuinely like, honestly, my first thought when he started doing it, because he wasn't really like saying much, I like genuinely for a half second thought like, oh dude, this kid's got autism. Like, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, he's, you know what I mean? Like, that was my first thought. I was like, oh, he's probably, I was like, so I was trying to just, like, be really frank with him. And that's why I wasn't, like, you know, I wasn't cursing or yelling. Because I was just like, oh, like, generally, like, if someone's got something, that is on the spectrum, if you're pretty frank, like, usually they'll stop. And that was, like, my initial response, which is kind of maybe even worse. That, like, instead of that, this is a normal kid just being a jerk off. Like, I was like, oh, dude, there's something wrong with this kid. Like, let me take care of him. Like, that was my immediate...
Like, it's impossible to tell, like, at a glance.
Yeah. There's no way to look at someone like, oh, that person's autistic. Yeah. Again, I think I was just taken aback because he was, like, just grunting. He was, like, mostly silent, and he just, like, kept touching me. And I was like, those, like, to me, like, those were, like, visible clues that, like, something's off. But then I realized after he started talking, when Alyssa yelled at him, that he was pretty normal, or at least seemed normal after that. So I was like, oh, fuck, no, yeah, this is just some weird kid. Like, this is just some kid trying to do something weird to someone.
Prank culture has just come too far, man.
Yeah, maybe they're filming it for their. Bro. They were filming it for their YouTube channel. That's what it was.
It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah. Logan Paul inspired them or something. I don't know, but
kids will do anything for clout nowadays.
They really will. God, yeah. All right, boys. Well, there's a weird little intro to our podcast tonight. The thing that we want to do now is something that I thought would be fun. And that's for us to just sort of react to some of the anime news that gets shared onto r/anime-news. So if you don't know, there's a subreddit dedicated to anime news. It's not just r/anime, so on and so forth. But I just thought it would be fun if we just kind of like go through some of the top headlines right now and just say, okay, what do we think? Like, what are we vibing on that? And chat through some of these headlines. So we're going to go through and just go, what's being shared on r/anime-news. And what sort of stuff is really coming up that we might even be excited about. This might be news to us to some degree. Well, so this might be new stuff.
Let me start by saying Quintessential Quintuplet, the harem anime about 5 identical sisters, obviously, is having a season 2. Now, put down in the comments right now, which of the quintuplets is your favorite? I don't remember their names because, honestly, let's be totally honest, anime's not that good, but I'm still going to watch it. But I'm pretty sure I like the quiet one. Or no, I like the tsundere one, I think. My favorite.
So are they all like very like stereotypical anime personalities, but it's like the same person? So like they're quintuplets. So
yeah. So one's like the oldest sister, okay, and she's like the One-chan.
Wait. They're all the same age, right? How can you say oldest?
They're all literally quintuplet.
Yeah, so how's there an oldest one?
Well, she just
maybe like by a few seconds or something.
Yeah, what is she like? I was born 3 minutes before the other 4. You know?
Yeah, it's the Zach and Cody bullshit. Okay?
Jesus
Zach's the older
Christ.
twin. Okay. So there's the like the One-chan type. There's a tsundere who she's my favorite, I think. There's a quiet one who like is quiet and shy. Mm-hmm. There's a best girl who's like classic female counterpart. And then there's a sports one. She's like really into sports, like a tomboy one. That's 5, right?
Probably. Kenny said, yeah, that's the quintuplets.
Yeah. So they're quintuplets. There's 5 of them, and that's that show.
So wait, does the
show
it's popular enough to have a second goddamn season? So I mean, it looks like this season was originally planned. I'm reading the news article on the subreddit. By the way, this is the most upvoted thing as of the time that we're reading the quintessential quintuplets. So on here it says that it was originally intended for an October release, the new season, but it got pushed to January. So January 2021 is when you'll be seeing the quintessential quintuplets return. And if you haven't seen it yet, those of you listening, it seems like the first trailer for the new season features Ichika, the oldest of the 5 quints. So if that's something you're interested in. And it seems like our protagonist is trying to win over the hearts of all 5 of them. One day he's going to date them all, or one of them will win his heart. Because there's always like a girl who wins at the end, right?
Yeah.
So I thought.
Here's the thing. Okay, let me tell you about romance shows like that. Okay, if your ships don't set sail.
Look at David. Wait, Kenny, look at David. He's researching it hard. He's bro, he's got it saved on his Crunchyroll.
I might have to add this to my list.
He has his added to his Crunchyroll queue.
5 sisters. Oh my god.
He's like, dude, do they all, bro, he's already. Kenny's drop of the day. Kenny's drop of the day. Everybody, give a clap for Kenny's drop of the day. Kenny has dropped out of the call.
Right now.
He had to go watch the whole first season again. He had to go look up which one was his top tier waifu. All right, welcome back, Kenny.
The tsundere one.
Kenny's a fan of the tsundere one.
Wait, so Kenny,
tsunderes are my favorite.
David's looking up dojins right now. David was like 5-way quintessential quintuplet dojin.
Here, I just watched the opening over and over.
I have what I need.
I am deep space.
Wait, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for the quintessential quintuplet, and this shit is actually really popular.
It's got a following.
It's a commercial success. Mm-hmm. Best-selling manga in 2019.
Yeah, dude. It's pretty
manga in the first half of 2020.
It ain't no joke, my dude.
He's like their tutor too, so it's like fucking weird.
Let's not spend too much time on the quintessential quintuplets. God dang it!
We should spend more time. on
No.
Okay.
I think the next piece of news on r/anime news is even more interesting though, because
nope, I don't agree.
Dang it. So the next piece of news on okay, so Quintessential Quintuplet Season 1. David and I haven't seen Season 1, so we can't even talk about it that much. But it's about 5 girls that are all sisters, and they all want to date the same guy. That's honestly the entire premise.
They don't want to date him yet, okay?
Oh, sorry.
You aren't even watching the show, okay?
Not yet, that's for sure.
They're growing. Their love for him is growing.
December 30th, 2020 will mark the release of Studio Ghibli's first 3D CG animated film titled Earwig and the Witch. So December 30th, 2020 will mark that release with a release theatrically in North America early in 2021. So we'll be seeing this over here as well. This is a Japanese computer animated film produced by Studio Ghibli and directed by Goro Miyazaki. Do you guys know who Goro is? I'm sure listeners at home you might.
Yeah,
David, Kenny,
really
Goro.
He directed When Marnie Was There, right?
Yes, he did.
I really like that one.
Mm-hmm.
And also he directed another one.
The up on Poppy Hill, right?
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah, that's also Goro, I believe. Oh no, Tales from Earthsea is Goro, I think as well.
Oh, okay.
I think Earthsea is also Goro.
Actually, it turns out I just like every Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah, I mean Ghibli is a great studio. So this studio is going to be the studio's first 3D CG film. Looks very anime, looks very Ghibli. If you've seen any images, I'd suggest you go take a look. But December 30th is when it's going to debut in Japan. So it's very quickly approaching. I expect it to be a pretty big hit. But Goro Miyazaki is the eldest son, I believe, of Hayao Miyazaki. if I remember correctly, right?
Where's Hale coming with that Caterpillar film?
Yeah, Hal has he's got a movie coming out too. He keeps retiring and then unretiring.
Yeah, what a fucking bitch, bro. Why
But hey, he just keeps getting older, and he's just like, I got another movie in me. But honestly, this movie looks very interesting. The style of the film looks really cool. It's based on a book titled it's titled the same thing, Earwig and the Witch. So it's based on a book by Diana Wynne Jones, which I believe is probably an American book. I don't know. You guys can figure that out for me. I'm not sure where that book originates.
I think it is, yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see that the kind of the circle of life there on a film like this. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for another Ghibli film, but one that's not traditional 2D animation? Ghibli is known for 2D animation, right? Like they've been doing traditional animation despite all of the other companies and many other things switching. They've kept that tradition of 2D and hand-drawn animation. So
I'm about to say they hand draw it. Like they still use cells like fucking old Disney.
Yep. So what do you guys think?
I'm excited. I'm a Studio Ghibli noob because I've only seen Spirited Away and Kiki's Delivery Service and My Neighbor Totoro. And
DJ.
You made me watch what was the pig one?
Porco Rosso, brother. Porco Rosso. That man flies in his airplanes.
Four movies of there's like a new Ghibli film every year.
Yeah, they put one out every once. I mean, it's pretty frequent. I mean, The Wind Rises is a beautiful movie. That was one of Hal's latest ones. And that one is just so awesome. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm always excited for something new from Studio Ghibli. I'm always excited. I just don't know what to expect out of a 3D CG film. I would love to see it in theaters, but I don't think it's going to be responsible to go to the theaters still here in America in the next couple months. I don't even see the theaters like ever really making a comeback. But so I don't know. I would love to see it in theaters, but if not, I will watch it at home. So
the pictures, like the stills, look really good. Like the CG looks super crisp. Like it's not like fucking Dragon's Dogma dog shit CGI.
Right.
It's some high quality.
It's looking like some straight up Pixar, Disney animation, that sort of 3D at that level, at that degree of work for sure. It does look very crisp. Okay, so then there's this thing here that says second teaser video for Laid Back Camp Season 2. You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Oh, Kenny has.
Obviously,
me neither, David. I have no idea what this show is.
Wait, this person commented saying this is low-key the best anime ever.
This is low-key the best anime ever made. Ever made, boys.
Wait.
Kenny, is that your favorite anime too? Laid Back Camp? Well, for viewers at home, we're sorry we've never seen Laid Back Camp. If you're excited, there is a season 2 coming in January. Good, I hope it's good and I hope you enjoy it. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. And maybe it's something that I need to check out. The art actually looks pretty cute, but I'm not really sure. It probably will say the premise if I open this news article. It really just talks about the opening and ending song.
I assume it's about camps.
This slow outdoor manga follows two young women. Rin likes to go camping by herself along the lakes that provide a scenic view of Mount Fuji. Nadeshiko loves to take cycling trips by herself to places where she can see Mount Fuji. After they meet, Rin and Nadeshiko take camping trips, eat cup ramen together, and enjoy the scenery.
So it's like slice of life camping.
Camping. Guys, they camp. No, sounds about right. Looks like there's another podcast. You guys see this article here? Someone's like, look, we do a podcast about anime news. And I'm like, I'm going to get them. They're called Weeb Weekly. We're going to promote them right now here on our own podcast. So I guess there's a new podcast out there called Weeb Weekly. And they go over anime news.
Don't check them out, though. Just check us out.
Yeah, we do the same thing, and you're already here. So if you're listening to us, then Weeb Weekly, we don't want you to talk about Weeb Weekly. But if for some reason you see, I don't know. Yeah, I guess don't check them out.
They argue that Sword Art Online is actually a good anime.
And that sounds unreasonable.
No.
That just sounds unreasonable. It sounds like they've just made.
I'm gonna go on this Weeb Weekly.
Yeah, we gotta contact. Actually, the boys are gonna contact Weeb Weekly, and we're gonna say, "Listen here,
Weeb Weekly. Okay?
We've been doing it for. They said 2 months. We've been doing ours for 3 months. You son of a bitch.
Wait for the crossover. Okay, we already have a Discord.
We're gonna get Weeb
okay?
Weekly over on our channel. We're gonna say, Weeb Weekly, come on over.
Server.
Yes.
With no one in it yet. It's
Only.
progress.
Hey, I'm
yes.
in it, okay?
Hey, if you want to join,
the meme right now.
So I see another thing on here. Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway has a theatrical film first adaptation now scheduled to open in Japan on May 7th, 2021. That's still a pretty far away from where we're at. It's a 3-part theatrical film adaptation. This was formally announced by Sunrise as part of the UC Next 0100 project. It seems like the first film was originally scheduled for July of 2020, but it was delayed due to COVID-19. So that's pretty interesting. And there's a new teaser and visual available for Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway. So if this is something that interests you, I'm not a huge Gundam fan, but I've seen a couple different ones over the years. And this sounds like a pretty exciting idea to do like a 3-part theatrical release. I'm always curious what direction Sunrise is going to take the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise next, because it's one of those franchises that's been alive way longer than we have, you know? Mm-hmm. Gundam's been going around for
like mid-80s?
Yeah, long ass time. Yeah, I mean, just a long ass time. So,
hey, if there's any viewers out there, I want to build a Gundam. I'm thinking about doing it on screen. So, if anybody has any interest about watching me build a Gundam, also if you have any money, I'd like that as well.
Yeah, I need you to donate money to Kenny's Gundam Fund. So, Kenny, you could do a live build on our channel. Maybe one day Kenny will host a live Gundam build.
I'll do a live Gundam build on our channel, and then I'll give that Gundam away in the mail. How about that? If we hit, how many subscribers do we have right now?
We have almost 50. I think we're at like 44, 45.
Whenever we hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to build a Gundam, and I'm going to build it on the channel. I'm going to send it to someone.
Whenever we hit 1,000, whenever we have 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna all watch Vampire Night and review it live. So David's favorite anime finally comes out to play the Vampire Night podcast. Okay, there's a couple more news that I like on here. Kenny, what do you think?
So I'll go ahead and do the next one. The next news piece that I think is the most interesting. It's actually a new anime got announced called Bakutan Rhythmic Gymnastics.
Oh my god.
It's got a preview and a visual. Okay.
Go on.
Fake.com brings me Rhythmic Gymnastics anime Bakutan, premiering on April 2021. Now, obviously I'm very interested in this because I love sports anime. It's what I love. And let me tell you right now, Blue Lock is the best sports manga that exists right now, currently running. And whenever it gets an anime, everybody's going to shit and brick, okay? Second, these are some boys. I've seen Free Utobi Swim Club, and it's giving me a lot of those type of vibes, okay? Damn it. A lot of these characters look like free characters, okay? Let's be totally honest with ourselves. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a BL anime.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
What does BL stand for?
Boy love.
Oh.
Kenny loves a good boy love, dude.
If you don't like a good boys love anime, you don't like love. Okay? That's what I have to say. Bakutan Rhythmic Gymnastics, premiering April 2021. Look out for it on the Uncensored Anime Podcast.
Mm-hmm. Well, boys.
I want to next thing.
Go for it, David.
Okay.
So something that I didn't know was happening until I looked at r/ANIMENEWS, but apparently Sony is buying Crunchyroll for $1 billion. I had no idea.
You know what that's going to mean?
Apparently, well, according to this article, apparently the monthly payment is, I don't know what it is currently. I think it's 10 currently
for Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
it's only $5.99.
Oh shit!
Well, this thing is going up to 8.
That's
what projection is telling me. So what do you all think about that? About Sony
here's the thing.
you want to say about?
Well, here's the thing about that. Sony already owns Funimation. Did you guys know that? Yeah, so Sony already owns Funimation, and so what this means is that now Sony will now have like essentially the largest distribution of anime in North America once they own Crunchyroll. So Sony will sort of absorb. I mean, there was already this attempt earlier, a couple years back, where Sony and Crunchyroll and Funimation attempted to merge. It didn't work. Funimation left. They got bought by Sony, and they ended up as a Sony property. I'm sure since then, Sony saw the growth, and they said, okay, we want to buy more. So now they're looking at Crunchyroll, and they're going to snipe Crunchyroll, and that's going to be now under that. Luckily, Netflix and Amazon have started to stake a lot more money into anime as a property, right? So they've started to bring over more anime each season, slowly growing. So luckily, I don't think Sony's going to have a monopoly, but I do hope that Sony puts Crunchyroll, gets rid of Funimation's app, and just absorbs all of Funimation's content. I hope they just absorb Funimation's content into the Crunchyroll app. I think that makes more sense. There's way more of a user base on Crunchyroll. Just give all of the users that already have a Funimation subscription, say that they can be grandfathered into the Crunchyroll subscription, sort of like HBO Max did. And I think they're on to something that could be really good. I'm just worried that something different is going to happen, that some sort of head honcho is going to decide something else. Because right now, Crunchyroll is just the best place to stream legal anime. I mean, just unquestionably, the best app interface. It's the best catalog. They just have the best options and they're always getting the top anime each season, and that's intentional. Crunchyroll has the money to do that, and they're forking it out so that they can get that. So being bought by Sony means that Sony has to keep that up, and if they don't, Netflix and Amazon are going to keep stealing space from them. Right now, Netflix has already started to steal space. Think about Beastars, right? One of the biggest hit animes, and that was Netflix got that one, right? And then you've got Seven Deadly Sins. Netflix has solidified itself with Seven Deadly Sins, having that as one of its properties, as opposed to Crunchyroll or Funimation. So I think that we're going to... Devilman Crybaby was a huge hit. There are others that I'm forgetting.
They have like a huge lineup of more anime that they're owning.
Yeah, Netflix just got the ability to stream the first part of One Piece. They have Naruto and Bleach streaming on there. They've got
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
They've got Brotherhood, JoJo's. I mean, they've got a huge lineup of already like backlog that is a pretty good catalog, and they're continuing to. I mean, Violet Evergarden. What was the show with the two girls that sang, Kenny?
Carol and Tuesday.
These were all moderate hits. Even Kakaguri, the one where they play, they gamble. The gambling one. All of these are moderate hits that Netflix has been, and they just got all of Saint Seiya and have produced a new Saint Seiya anime. They're establishing themselves as. I think an attempt to make anime an integral part of their programming. Not sure why, but something in Netflix's algorithms must have told them, like, hey, get more anime. So
people like anime.
This could be Sony's attempt. If they can do it right, and they can combine Crunchyroll and Funimation correctly and appropriately, we could end up with a much better anime streaming service, and it's going to, I think, cater to the right needs. They just need to not isolate either audience and need to make sure that they're catering to the people who are subbed up to Funimation and catering to the people who are subbed up to Crunchyroll. I don't want to end up with a service that only allows me to watch dubbed anime. I need to make sure I'm getting subtitled anime weekly as it comes out. Like, simulcasted subtitled anime is what has made Crunchyroll so successful. It needs to continue like that. Having access to a backlog of dubbed anime, which is what the Funimation app is known for, is what we need to be bringing over into Crunchyroll, if anything. So I hope Sony doesn't fucking flub it, and they might, because Sony might not know what they're doing. This might be just like an attempt to monopolize it, and they have no idea what their actual end goal is, and both companies could get fucked in the process. But I sure hope not.
Crunchyroll just recently.
You got a few together.
Yeah, there was something similar happened whenever Funimation and Crunchyroll tried to do that merger. A lot of old Funimation shows ended up on Crunchyroll, but then they had to pull them, obviously.
Yep.
Case Closed, though, is now all on Crunchyroll. All, like, upwards thousands episodes are on Crunchyroll. And so I'm thinking about maybe starting Detective Conan, bro, and just starting from the beginning.
It's only there's only a couple episodes, dude. It's only like what?
Only a couple episodes. What I need is a Detective Conan crossed with Lupin the Third crossed with Phoenix Wright, crossed with Professor Layton, a quad crossover. Because both have separately done crossovers, okay? There's been a Detective Conan Lupin the Third crossover, and there's been a Phoenix Wright Professor Layton crossover.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm asking is for a quad crossover, a quad cross, where all 4 properties come together for one crazy movie.
I think
Detective Conan, Phoenix Wright, Lupin the Third, Professor Layton. Okay?
Kenny, honestly, let's just make it the quintessential quintuplets. We'll make it 5 crossover. We're going to throw Goku in there. Goku crosses over.
Goku!
I thought you were legitimately going to say Moriarty.
No. Oh, that would be cool. No, I don't know.
Has anyone been following that show?
I didn't watch it after the first episode.
No, I'll probably catch up. It's the same kind of detective shows. Just
you
like
know why
Conan.
I haven't been keeping up with it?
Why? Because it's on Funimation.
Because I hate opening the Funimation app. That's the only reason I haven't. I hate
that's
opening
true,
that stupid app.
Yes.
It is the absolute reason why I just do not want to watch it ever. It makes me not want to.
Shows.
Yeah, it's
except for Akudama Drive.
Akudama's also on Hulu though. That's where I watch it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's on Hulu too. Oh,
yeah, so I don't even have to open Funimation. I can just watch it on Hulu.
Yep. Me too.
So yeah, I've been watching Tonakawa and Jujutsu over on Crunchyroll, and I've been watching Akudama on Hulu, which has been nice.
Hey, are y'all caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yes, except there's an episode tomorrow. Yeah.
Hey, okay, so spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen, bro. Ain't that wild? Ain't it wild?
What
yeah.
Bro, they killed Yuji, bro. He fucking died, like, for real.
Oh, and he just comes back?
But he's
he
alive.
Comes back, but like he very, very for real died, like straight up.
He's dead. Yeah.
I think he was fully gone from the manga for like 2 chapters, I think. And so I was like, what? Like he made it very.
I don't know.
Like very realistic.
I liked it. I mean, I expected him to be alive. I mean, I joked to Alyssa. I was like, what if... I was like, this isn't called... The name of this manga is not called Yuji Itadori or Sukuna. I was like, it's called Jujutsu Kaisen. Maybe Yuji wasn't the main character. And I joked with her. I was like, what if they just replaced him and kept going?
That's Timon bullshit, bro. Kamina fucking dies, bro.
Right. And I was like, not ready. I was like, kind of prepped. I was like prepping myself for maybe that to be the case. But then obviously it didn't happen. I was like, Yuji's too cool.
Protagonist to like not be the protagonist.
Yeah.
Everything that's been set up for him, like it was kind of obvious that they weren't going to actually.
Well, I kind of want to know if Talentless Nana. Did any of you guys keep watching that one?
No, bro, that show's bad.
Dang it! I was kind of.
I wanted to. I'm curious about it, but I haven't kept up with it.
I just don't like shows where they don't treat characters like their deaths are just not important. Like,
well, that's what I was trying to. I was wondering. I'm curious to go back and watch some more because I'm curious if the lead character like comes back, like the guy that dies in the first episode, if there's more to it, or if or if that guy just isn't the lead and they just replace him and it becomes more about Nana. Yeah, I was about to say, I guess it becomes more about Nana probably.
I think the Bakugo looking like guy is like
involved
the
more.
Secondary main character.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I might go revisit it for a couple episodes just to see.
Yeah, maybe whenever it's all out, I'll watch it all.
I don't know if I'll watch it all, but I might watch a couple
Maybe I'll just
more.
read the manga, honestly.
Yeah, maybe that's what we all need to do. Read the manga.
I read a new manga this week. It's a reverse isekai. I know that you guys hate isekais, but it's a reverse isekai, and it's pretty good, actually. Square Enix publishes the light novel, so it's pretty good. I really enjoy it. It's called Dead Mount Death Play. If y'all want to check it out. A necromancer is reborn in our world, in the human world. But it is very exposition heavy, which a lot of isekais are that way. There's an immense amount of exposition that basically explains how magic works. So it's pretty exposition heavy, and there's a lot of moving parts. And so I don't want to spoil anything if anyone wants to check it out. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Just to totally get on a tangent.
But another tangent from that.
Yep, tangent.
Is that one of the anime that Netflix is releasing early 2021.
Mm-hmm.
One called Spriggan. and it just had its first teaser trailer revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, okay, Netflix show, CGI, like, okay, whatever. But when you look at the people that are working on the show behind the scenes, I was like getting more interested. So Hiroshi Kabayashi or Kobayashi is the director, who is also the director for Kill la Kill. And the Hiroshi Seko, in charge of series composition and screenplay, who does that for Jujutsu Kaisen. And the series is animated and produced by David Production.
No.
David's favorite.
Wait.
So
Spriggan.
This might be a good show. It's called Spriggan, Spriggan. I've never heard of it.
Here's the quick synopsis, okay? A great civilization once existed on this earth, possessing knowledge and scientific prowess far exceeding that of modern man. The relics of this ancient civilization remain hidden across this world even now. As high-speed communications networks cover the globe, and the peering eyes of satellites are able to expose all secrets, the armies of great nations clash as they seek to uncover and research these artifacts which possess an unfathomable power. A member of this ancient civilization carved a message into a plate: protect our relics from evildoers. Taking this message to heart, one organization aims to steal away this ancient civilization for good. The elite secret agents of this organization are known as Spriggans. Sounds pretty sweet.
Like and this is shonen too, so this might be pretty fucking good.
Could be fun, yeah.
So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, one of the news articles on r/AnimeNews is all the upcoming stuff for Netflix. So if we were just hyping up Netflix a minute ago, so we might as well go through what's coming up. Looks like they've got a new show called Baki Hanma, which seems to be some sort of continuation or readaptation of Baki the Grappler.
Yeah. So Baki, there's like original Baki, and then I believe it's Baki Hanma, and then there's Baki Do. I don't know why he changes the name often, or maybe he's
like doing
transition from different. But it's just the continuation of Baki, yeah.
So it's more Baki the Grappler. So if you like Baki, you're getting more, which is really cool because it's been years since the original series, and now Netflix has sort of revived it and given it a second life. I really I haven't gotten into the new series, but I like the old one a lot, and I'd like to get into the new one as well. Looks like we've also got a sci-fi fantasy anime titled Eden. It's set thousands of years in the future, where a city is known as Eden 3. It's inhabited solely by robots whose former masters vanished a long time ago. Sounds kind of cool. Sounds interesting. Looks like it's kind of got a 3D look to it, so that's supposed to be in May. We're also getting a new Resident Evil limited series called Infinite Darkness. When biohazards run wild, only a pair of veteran zombie slayers can get the job done. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness is a new original series set in the canon of Capcom's classic survival horror franchise.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's in the same type of style that the last two, like the two animated Resident Evil movies with Claire and Leon that I enjoy. So,
yeah, I'm excited for that also. I mean, anything Resident Evil can usually be fun. Throw Leon Kennedy in there, and you know it's about to be a blast.
Leon when he's fucking Kennedy.
Even when he's carrying my girl Ashley around, dude, you know he still bops, dude.
Bro, Leon Kennedy.
Now they've got
Leon Scott Kennedy.
So the next show,
Pacific Rim.
Yep, Pacific Rim. Seems like an anime based off of the films Pacific Rim. Yep. So kaijus, big battles, as well as a Godzilla anime. It looks like it's coming up as well. Then we've got
Looks like Dragon Dogma.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it then. That's sad. I mean, you guys know what Godzilla is. He a big monster and people fight him. There's kaijus. Yeah. Then we've got something called Trace. Trace? I don't know. How do you say that? How would you say that, David? It looks like Trece to me. Trees?
Say tree.
Set in a Manila where the mythical creatures of Philippine folklore live in hiding among humans, Alexandra Treese finds herself going head-to-head with a criminal underworld comprised of malevolent, supernatural beings. Looks like it has some sort of basis in Filipino culture, so that's kind of cool. So that could be really interesting. Then we've got Spriggan, obviously, which we already talked about. This one, which has been making some waves, I've heard they've recently been publishing the manga in English, so I think that people are starting to get a little hype for it. It's called The Way of the House Husband. You guys heard of that?
Oh, shit! I've read that. It's fucking hilarious, bro.
Kenny, see, and a lot of people love the manga has a really good following, so...
So let me give you the quickest synopsis. The Way of the House Husband is about an ex-Yakuza guy who is now just a house husband. His main thoughts in life are cooking a delicious dinner, cleaning his house, getting deals at the store. And he's called like Takumi the Immortal, and he's like this fucking big ass Yakuza guy, and he's like, but I gotta get the deals. And there's a classic running joke in it where he's like, do you got the powder, the white powder? And it's always like something fucking like they're like, sir, we don't sell that here. And he's like, no, I need flour to make some food.
Oh,
like,
no. What? Oh, no.
It's so funny.
Oh,
That's
I'm excited
wild.
for that.
I'm excited. That should be really funny. And yeah, I've heard really good stuff about the manga, so I do hope the anime holds up. I don't know what this article isn't telling me like who's making any of this stuff, so we'll just have to see what company is handling it, but I hope it's done by someone good. Then we've obviously got, and this got announced, we actually talked about this on another episode, that Netflix has acquired Thus Spoke Kishibe-Rohan, which is sort of an upcoming, just more episodes of the OVA series. It actually already has a couple episodes, but it's based on a manga, like a side manga that Hirohiko Araki wrote about Kishibe-Rohan from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So if you're a fan of that, would be worth checking out. Then we've got High Rise Invasion, which seems
This is one that I've read before. I actually really enjoy it. First of all, it's the same sort of. I know that I talk about Muneyuki Kaneshiro and the type of like cell phone game style of like, even though this is like not a cell phone game, it's that sort of like style where it's like you continue to meet new characters and they have to do new challenges, sort of.
right.
It's
really
kind of like
cool.
Miraniki, almost.
Similar to, but obviously there's no cell phones involved. But I always categorize it as cell phone game style of manga,
Right.
even though it's not. But it's pretty cool. Also, it's really fucking weird too. Quick synopsis on this one is: you wake up, the main character, the girl, is separated from her brother. She wakes up on the top of this high rise. Everybody's trapped on these high rises. And there are these people with masks who are trying to kill you. And either you jump off the high rise and the people in masks will ignore you, or you get killed by the people in the masks. And so like that's sort of the aspect of the game. But then there are different equipment and wares throughout the high rises, and there are things you can compete for. And then there are masks, which can give you powers, sort of. And the masked people have different powers that they can unlock. And so it's all about her trying to get back to her brother and figure out what's even going on. Because she just sort of like wakes up in the middle of this. And they're obviously trapped. Any door to go farther down, it doesn't exist. And there are bridges connecting each of these high rises together. It's pretty cool, pretty interesting.
I'm interested.
Definitely fun.
Yeah, the animation looks really clean. It actually, I have to look it up, but the studio or the style reminds me of High School of the Dead, just based on like art style and direction. I wonder if there's any overlap on the teams, but the premise sounds really pretty unique.
Yeah.
But the lead character looks like she is a mega waifu, dude.
Yeah, she's got big titties.
Yeah, and she's in a schoolgirl outfit, so. If that interests you, that's actually coming in February, so that's coming sooner rather than later, y'all. So that's going to be pretty cool.
They've already got a trailer.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. I just looked at the trailer. Trailer looks pretty slick, y'all. So go check it out if you haven't already. High Rise Invasion. That would be a cool one to check out. Like I said, Netflix is on the come up when it comes to these animes, guys. They are getting a lot of good stuff. Stuff that is definitely worth looking.
Good. There's more good sounding ones than bad ones.
Yeah, there's more interesting ones than ones that I'm not. So we've got a couple more. I mean, we've got Rilakuma's Theme Park Adventure. Seems like it's about 3 people kind of at a theme park in its closing hours. And then we've got one about
I like Comedy Brilliant Park.
Is that the same thing?
Oh, no, it's just about a
similar
theme park.
concept. Okay.
Yeah. I just.
We've got one about. It's called Thermae Romae Novae, and it's about a Roman Empire bath designer that wakes up in modern Japan and realizes the two cultures aren't that different. So that sounds like a comedy, sort of interesting series there. Then we've got a series called Yasuke. It's the quick thing here says, a village in danger, a mysterious child, a warring daimyo, and the greatest ronin never known all clash in a Japan of magic and mechs. Learn the story of the first African samurai when LaShawn Thomas's Yasuke, voiced by Lakeith Stanfield, arrives next year.
Whoa!
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. So it seems like you've got your first, just the story of the first African samurai just makes it sound like it could be really cool. So it's like this generation's new Afro Samurai in some ways, it feels like. So that could be really cool. Then you've got a show called Vampires in the Garden. Once, vampires and humans lived in harmony. Now a young girl and a vampire queen will search for that paradise once again. Here's your first look at Vampire in the Garden, an original story from Wit Studio. And Wit is amazing. So this is an original story, not based off any sort of other content, premiering next year on Netflix. So that also sounds like a really cool and interesting thing. So that's all that was available in this article. So quite a few bangers in there. I mean, a lot of stuff I actually want to watch.
Yeah.
And I know us as a team, we're trying to watch The Great Pretender soon and do a review here on the podcast. So if you haven't checked that out soon, because we'll probably be reviewing it here on the podcast in the upcoming weeks, especially as the holidays come around. We're definitely going to have more downtime to watch more anime. So this should be pretty cool. And Kenny, the next article on r/AnimeNews might be of interest to you. New teaser trailer for TV anime adaptation of rom-com manga Horimiya reveals the cast for Student Council.
I'm excited, bro.
Now, Kenny, tell us, what was Horimiya again? We've talked about Horimiya on the podcast briefly, but Kenny, tell us a little about it.
Probably my favorite romance manga. It's about two people who live sort of double lives, Hori and Miyamura, where Hori is this sort of outgoing, active girl at school, but she goes home and she takes care of her family. And so she has this sort of like, I don't know, not studious per se, but this sort of a different attitude and outlook. And she sort of like puts her hair up, if that makes sense, where at school she sort of plays as this outgoing popular girl. And then Miyamura is this guy with glasses and long hair who looks like an otaku. And so like people don't talk to him, but Hori runs into him outside of school. And actually he has a ton of piercings and he has tattoos, and he sort of is this different dude outside of school that people don't really like, and people don't talk to him at school. And so they sort of form that connection. And then each of the characters, I just really enjoy. There's a lot of different love stories. Obviously their love story is the forefront of what the manga and obviously the show is going to be about. But there are also other love stories that go on where, Miyamura grows to become friends with sort of this sports guy, and then they become friends with the student council president and his girlfriend. And it's all sort of, I don't know, just it feels real, I guess. I never went to school in Japan, but they don't do anything crazy. It's not like, it's not like Toradora where the girl with a wooden katana just beating the shit out of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of some high school kids falling in love and, wanting to be together. And that's, I don't know.
Pretty interesting. I hope that the anime turns out okay. And
yeah.
I mean, honestly, the way things are going right now, those types of shows are doing really well. I mean, Rent-A-Girlfriend was sort of the hit of its season. So there's a lot of space for a show like Horimiya to kind of, it's filling a genre that people are looking for right now. But all right, boys, there's a lot more news on this subreddit, and I just keep scrolling and getting distracted by it. So I'm like, man, this is a lot of news to take in. So
wait. But you know what? Let's just keep chugging through.
David's like, I hope you guys are ready for this. There's a couple more. New season of World Trigger has been confirmed. If you didn't know, more cast for Noblesse.
I think that World Trigger is finally back on weekly. They've been doing it monthly, and I think that the author is once again publishing weekly, or at least he's publishing shorter chapters. I don't know. I don't know if he got into an accident or if he was injured, but he stopped publishing altogether for a couple years.
Is World Trigger good?
I really like it. It's sort of lost. It felt like it lost its footing. A lot of the arcs are really long, if that makes sense. Like almost not Reborn length, but it's like there was an alien, like so they're in World Trigger, they're aliens and they're called neighbors and they occupy different planets. And there's an alien invasion in the first season, a neighbor invasion, and that's almost the entirety of the first season, and that's a very long arc. And then we like go straight into a arc that is also very long, where it's like these B-class rank wars, where the people who protect the Earth or Medan are competing to rank up to go on this expedition off planet. And so it also was a very long arc. But with World Trigger, I don't see that those arcs being as long in the anime, because oftentimes it's a lot of action and not a lot of verbal content. And so I think that hopefully season 2 does a really good job of, just being able to blaze through those action sequences, because it is like 3 or 4 chapters where it's just action. It's just battle, not a lot of talking, not a lot of dialogue, just fully battle. And then we sort of get back to a couple of dialogue heavy sequences, and then it flips flops. And so I really enjoyed the World Trigger anime, the first season. And once I started reading the manga, it felt very slow, but that's because of the way he paces it. And I think that it honestly lends itself to being in an anime, but I still really enjoy it. I really enjoy World Trigger. It's an interesting design. A lot of the characters are cool. The fights are interesting. Our not our main character, but our main character also, another primary character, Kuga, he has an interesting fighting style. He uses, like tactics to his advantage. And then Osamu, our main character, is like a tactician, basically. He's very weak, but he's all about the tactics and doing things to improve their capabilities of winning and not necessarily fighting really well. And so
it is. It started as weekly Shonen Jump, but I believe something happened to the author maybe that had it moved to the monthly physical.
For a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, he took a pretty long hiatus, then came back to monthly. So sort of like D Greyman, I think, kind of went through a similar situation, but because I think D Greyman is still going too. But
the anime was adapted from 2014 2016, and then second season premiering in 2021. So I mean the anime itself had a long break too.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm worried. I think the anime the first season had quite a bit of filler too, so it's kind of hard to navigate how to watch it.
Seasonal.
I think the beginning of it was all content, and then they had a pretty long, I think like a 20 episode filler. Which is, it was back whenever things weren't quite seasonal yet.
It was before that wave. It was kind of back when it was still commonplace to just like adapt, and then, die when you die, essentially. But it definitely kind of, it was a weird manga in that like, it didn't really like take off amongst Shonen Jump fans like I thought it was going to. Does that make any sense? Like, I think I thought it was going to kind of be the next big thing, and maybe part of it has to do with the hiatus that kind of delayed it. It's just weird that like it didn't really hit like I think a lot of people thought it was going to. And I remember watching the anime, at least the first part of it, and thinking like, oh, this is pretty cool, but then I never really stuck with it. And it may have just been because I think Toei Animation is not the best at, I don't know. They're Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Sailor Moon, right? So it's like it's hard to say anything about Toei, but they just like their adaptations sometimes just fall short. I mean, Toriko is another great example of like Toei took it and, they thought it was going to be a next big hit and it just didn't work out. And I think World Trigger kind of had the same issue with it. So I wish it had gone to a studio that was going to give it more of a monthly or seasonal adaptation that was going to give it a little bit more attention. I think we would have gotten a better adaptation out of the gate. And I think that would have helped the show a lot. But
I mean, you got to think about the time period though. It just wasn't how anime were, being made.
Yeah, it wasn't. And again, it's like it's Toei also. I mean, Toei is just very old school. That they kind of stick to their laurels when it comes out. And there is one other update. I think this could be our last piece of news for this episode because I think it's important. Demon Slayer. We talked about it last week, but it just continues to rise, boys. It is now one of the top 10 best-selling films of the year in the world. the best box office hits in the world. And some people think it may land even in the top 3 because this year was so weird. We may actually have an anime movie in the top 3 highest grossing films of the year, which sounds really fucking weird. But it is now the 5th best selling. It's the 5th highest grossing film in Japan. The 5th highest grossing, above beating out each of the individual Harry Potter films in Japan.
How are the Oscars going to work this year?
It's all going to go to Demon Slayer Infinity Train, I guess. The Demon Slayer Infinity Train has just swept the Oscars now. No, I'm joking. They're going to give everything. They're going to give everything to Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, that movie came out.
Yeah, it came out.
In a year where movies did not come out, that movie came out.
Yeah. What about what's the one that what's his name did?
Tenet.
I mean, Tenet. They tried to come out, and Mulan came out technically.
It came out on digital.
To come out this year, which I think Wonder Woman's still coming out this year, right?
It's planning to come. Wait, did it?
Oh, I thought it pushed.
I thought it pushed to Christmas.
I'm looking at it.
Last time I saw it, it was planning to be released on Christmas Day. Say it again, David.
Because this year we were supposed to get Wonder Woman 84. I think the hype, like comic book movies of this year were Wonder Woman and Black Widow.
Yeah, and the Eternals.
The Eternals were supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
But all that's been pushed. Originally, we were also supposed to get Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's been pushed to next year. WandaVision was supposed to come out this year, and it's been pushed to next year. So now next year, the lineup is going to be like Black Widow, Shang-Chi, the Eternals, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All of that stuff was supposed to come out this year. It's now all been pushed to next year. So that's pretty strange. The Batman movie.
Shang-Chi was already next year.
Sorry,
now
yes.
It's gonna be the first movie that comes out of the.
No, I thought they pushed. I thought they pushed Black Widow into Shang-Chi's spot, so Black Widow still comes out first. Yeah, I think so. I think Black Widow is now the first one to come out next year, but I think they switched Eternals and Shang-Chi. So I think originally Eternals was going to come out first, then Shang-Chi. I think now it's been flipped. Shang-Chi's now coming out before Eternals.
So the Marvel website.
David. Widow. Yeah, now we're talking about Marvel movies here on the Uncensored Anime Podcast because we like
films have been weird.
Yeah, back to
but
May
guys,
7th, 2021.
Wait, what has
Black Widow?
May of next year.
May of next year.
Oh my Lord Jesus Christ!
Hella far.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out March of this year. We were like a week away from.
Oh yeah, Black Widow was like about to come out. All the toys and stuff, they all came out. Like same thing with Wonder Woman. All the toys and stuff. Yeah. It all has come and gone, and neither of those movies have come out. Like
James Bond, actually, we almost got to the date, and they pushed it.
Yeah, James Bond still isn't out, right?
Yep.
No, so, it's pushed to next year.
It's wild that some of these other movies like Mulan got pushed to streaming. The Pixar movie got pushed to streaming too, right? Soul.
Yep.
So that's. Onward? Well, Onward came... I saw Onward in theaters.
Been out, yeah.
Yeah, I got to see Onward in theaters, luckily. Before everything... I mean, I saw Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters before everything shut down, too.
I did as well.
Which was nice. I'm happy I saw both those in theaters before... Sonic was the last movie I saw in theaters before the shutdown.
I think I saw Girl on Fire last.
Yeah, because we saw...
I'd seen a lot, obviously.
We saw Sonic on Valentine's Day weekend. It was Alyssa's Valentine's Day date. And a month later, theaters shut down. So It's wild. I'm just like, that's crazy. And yeah, I haven't been back to a theater since, which is weird. Alyssa and I were in the groove where we were going to the movie theater every single Thursday. We were going every Thursday. So it definitely threw a part of our schedule off to just like not go anymore. It was really weird to just not go. But yeah, it's weird that Demon Slayer is doing what it's doing right now. Last year, Demon Slayer beat One Piece for the first time ever, best-selling manga of the year in 2019, and now it is the best-selling film from a shonen property ever. Not the best-selling anime film just yet. It has not beat Spirited Away or Your Name yet in total gross, but it is climbing fast, and certainly might end up beating both of them. Who knows? But it is now the best-selling shonen film ever. I mean, beating all the Dragon Ball movies, all the One Piece movies. So surprise. All the My Hero, Demon Slayer. I don't know what's going on. I can't pinpoint it because it's not that great. Like I hate to be that guy, but like
I'm telling you, the animation elevates an already solid shonen, right?
Yeah.
Where it is basically a paint by numbers shonen. But whenever you see Zenitsu do his thunderclap thunderblade, that first time, whenever you see
What was your reaction when you saw Zenitsu doing that first form?
I'm not gonna lie. Here's my reaction right here, guys. You want to see how I reacted during that whole show? Here's exactly what happened. Okay, Tanjiro would be like, "All right, I'm about to cut this dude's head." I'd be like,
demon."
I'd be like, "No, no." I'd say, "No, he did not. No, he did not." Alyssa, "No, he did not." Alyssa, I would go, "Oh, no, he did not." She'd go, "Jerry, it's," and he'd be like, "Tanjiro, yeet!" And I'd be like, "Oh!" I'd be like, "No, he did not. No, he did not."
Yeah.
I would look at Alyssa, I'd say, "Listen, this is the best anime I've ever fucking seen." That's what I was saying the whole time. I was like, I don't ever want to stop. I would get off work each day, and I would be like, "Here we go." We binged it in like 2 days or something, 2 or 3 days. We were like, "God, I love this fucking anime." I was like, "This is the best fucking anime I've seen in years." And then everyone got hype about it. I was like, "God, Demon Slayer's not that great. It's not that great." It's whatever.
Bro, I'm telling you.
But when I was watching it, guys,
it was so
and
good.
because of the speed, because they got canceled or whatever, the speed at which things occur in the rest of this anime is going to be fast, and it's going to be fucking wild.
well, yeah, we already got the fucking movie. That's a whole nother arc, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, Mugen Train, that arc is such a fucking great
a
arc.
great arc, yeah. Going into,
I want to see this. I'm buying this movie on Blu-ray for sure. The moment I can, I gotta get this movie on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
I gotta. I just bought the new My Hero movie on Blu-ray.
I'm telling you, whenever Giyu did the calm storm one where he it's like 11th water form, calm waters or whatever, and
Kenny?
it just goes blue everywhere, and
Kenny?
he just fucking
When
gets that
Tanjiro
demon.
remembered that his dad had that fire shit, and then all of a sudden Tanjiro fire wheeled Rui's head off, dude. I think I threw my couch. I think I picked my couch up and I threw it. I think I lifted it off the ground and I chunked my couch. I said, "This is impossible." I said, "This is impossible." And I flipped the whole couch. I said, "This can't be this good."
Like
a couple of
fire.
videos on YouTube of like people's reactions to anime, like most hype reactions to anime, and that scene is in every single compilation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, bro.
Guys,
you see like it goes into the, I feel like everything flashes before your eyes, and he's like, what's my way out? What's my way out? What's my way out? And then he sees his dad doing the dance, bro. And you're like, no, bro.
I said, this man, he has been a water user this whole time, and all of a sudden he became a fire user. I said, what?
Sun breathing.
Sun. Whatever.
There's a difference between
Bro,
fire and
Kenny,
sun.
I just was shook. I was shook.
Wait till the movie, Jerry.
Oh my
Wait till the
god.
fucking movie, bro.
See, that's what's crazy is like, I get it. Okay, obviously I like it. It's too hype to not like. It's so fucking hype.
It's so fucking
But
hype.
guys, like, it can't be like, it doesn't have any right to like just like walk on every other anime ever all of a sudden. You know what? Like, I hate that it's that hype. Like, I don't know. It is that good, so I should be happy for it because like, oh, finally this anime is like taken. But I'm also like, but guys, Attack on Titan is good. And One Piece is amazing.
Not like Demon Slayer.
Like One
Not like
Piece,
Demon Slayer.
like how, like One Piece has been working so hard for so long. Wait, what, David?
When Attack on Titan came out, I feel like it was like the anime. It was
Right.
like Sword Art. When Sword Art came out, people were like all on Sword Art stick.
Right.
But then,
But is
like
there?
Demon Slayer is like still like fresh.
Right.
But also the animation though, like
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Look at the
like,
table, it's just so good.
the thing is, like, One Piece, Sword Art, Attack on Titan, My Hero, all very hype shows. They still weren't able to make a dent or like get close to like the legends, right? Like they never were legend. They are very popular, but they didn't like beat One Piece in sales that year, or like, you know what I mean? Like they didn't climb to the top of the movie charts or become the best anime of the year by just existing.
It's weird for like movie numbers.
Yeah, like all of this is strange, and it doesn't make any like. I'm like, okay, yeah, like because those other shows are really good too. My Hero, Sword Art, Sword Art, but Attack. Those are all good. they're all good, but like, why is Demon Slayer like just blowing him out of the water? Like, Demon Slayer just said, fuck everything you've ever known about your life. This anime is the way. Like, it's acting like The Mandalorian. Like, The Mandalorian's doing the same shit. It's blowing everything out of the water. It's this amazing show. And
it's The Boys.
The Boys is Amazon's best thing. There's like, I don't know what, like, people are just too hyped now. It's like, they see something cool, and they're like, everyone and their mother has to watch this. They're hype beasts. This world is becoming just a bunch of hype beasts, and Demon Slayer is riding the hype beast train. Riding the train! Riding on cars! I don't know. Demon Slayer gets me too hypey.
You're right, I agree.
It's just like,
but
One Piece...
the movie, though, Jerry, like, knowing what's to come, you're going to be flipping sofas. You're gonna
read.
I mean, this next arc...
I need to buy this Blu-ray now.
Not overhype it, but it is going to be...
The Infinity Trains arc, the arc after that is really good. The arc after that is really good. And I really like Demon Slayer. And I am so excited to see the way... Because we haven't seen any of the interesting breathing styles. Like the sound breathing style or the love breathing style or shit like that.
Oh, spoilers! Good one, Kenny. No.
Well, we met the.
I don't know.
Okay, we met those Hashiras.
Yeah, but come on, man! You're such a spoiler. No, I'm joking. Whatever.
But we haven't got to see those animated.
I did
just after seeing the thunder, after seeing the beast breathing, after seeing the water breathing. I cannot wait to see what they do with some of the other more interesting.
I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be as more popular than Demon Slayer. No. I've heard some conversation about it. I don't think that it's going to do it. I think that Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be very popular. It's definitely going to be the hit of the season. And through the end of this year and into next year, it's definitely going to be the anime that people talk about. But it's not going to beat Demon Slayer. It's not even going to beat My Hero, I don't think. Wait, say again, David?
Kaisen is really good.
Demon Slayer was a phenomenon. It just like took the world by storm. And
It's because of that animation, man.
The animation.
Yeah, it just doesn't
so fucking good.
Doesn't feel like Jujutsu's gonna do it, and people thought it might, but I don't think it is.
Well, there's some interesting shit that's gonna happen this season.
Hell, I thought God of High School was gonna do something, and that shit is miserable. It's unwatchable.
Whoa, I like God of High School.
I'm joking, but it's really rough. It was really rough. Kenny, we still need to finish it.
I haven't seen it all.
I know we need to finish it because some of the more fun fights they just took so much out. That's why the way that they've done the webtoons, apparently they've just been taking so much out.
Right.
That it loses some of what it was, and so it's, I don't know.
We need to have our
the webtoon
episode.
Yeah, we will be reviewing. We will be reviewing God of High School here on this show and Great Pretender before the end of the year. So be on the lookout for those episodes later down the line. We are certainly going to be bringing you guys those reviews in the future. So honestly, guys, I think we need to start wrapping this puppy up, as I like to say. We've been going for about an hour and a half, so a little shorter than normal, but I think that we're definitely coming to an end. Kenny, do you want to unravel anything today? Do you have something planned? Or
Okay, so I'm going to unravel an anime that I think...
Uh-oh, he's doing it, David.
...was genuinely unraveled from the very moment. There is a short manga that is split into 3 parts. Or actually 4 parts, I think, now. And an anime, and it's so fucking weird. So let me talk about Terra Formars.
Oh, it does have an anime.
Yeah, it does. It has an anime.
2 seasons?
Terra Formars, it has 2 seasons and an OVA.
Oh, shit.
First of all, if you watch the anime, you're not going to get the full story. In the manga, they send cockroaches to Mars to make the planet habitable.
Okay.
And then a first generation of people fly to Mars, and turns out these cockroaches have grown out of control and they're mega beasts. They can rip humans apart. And so a guy goes there and he has a sword and he fucking slays some cockroaches. That's like the first 4 chapters of this manga. And then they get killed.
Okay.
So then a second expedition is sent to Mars. This time, though, listen, they sent these cockroaches. This time, they've gene spliced people with insects. Only insects. Okay? Let me make this clear. In the second expedition, they're only gene spliced with insects. So then they go and they use these insect powers to try and fight these cockroaches. Guess fucking what? everybody gets killed except for 2 people.
Oh.
Everybody gets fucking slaughtered.
This is one of those shows that just kills people.
Yeah, bro. But this isn't even in the anime. That's in the OVA. I think there's an OVA of that, the second expedition. Finally, we get to the main meat of it. We come back and we're sending a 3rd expedition to Mars to see who can take over these damn cockroaches, okay, who are giant human beings. And our main characters are descendants of some of these gene-spliced people. So not only does our main guy have his mom's power, he's also got his own gene splice, so he's double insected. But in the 3rd expedition, they've gene spliced with some other fucking animals. So then there's like
this, now I really want
to. Guy.
This isn't even ruining this for me. This just makes me want to watch it.
I'm telling you, there's
I'm like actually just
guy.
Interested now.
There's like so all these. So the main guy is only an insect. They've only got the insect powers. But then they start like there's a shark guy. There's like a glow bug guy. There's like I think there's like a tiger guy. It's fucking weird. Terraformars is fucking weird, and the plot never evolves past the fact that they're like different on the 3rd expedition. Finally, there's a shit ton of people that go, and there are different factions of people that are going that want to sort of take over these cockroaches on Mars, and so they're all like fighting. So it turns out they're not even fighting the damn cockroaches that have been killing them. They're fighting them, obviously. They're fighting the damn cockroaches. But they're also fighting like other people with insect powers. And so it's just fucking it's weird. Terraformars is so weird, but it's so cool.
Right.
Like whatever you
the
have
the artwork has always really interested me. Something about the artwork just looks really cool.
You have this dude who like the main guy has like silk bud threads, and so that's his mom's power. So he like wraps people up, and then like the guy who had the sword got gene spliced with this ant that can so the first guy, he has a daughter, and she also gets his ant power, but then also has a second power, and she's badass. And then the guy from the 2nd expedition that made it back, he's on the 3rd expedition, so he comes again, and then they're like fighting each other and shit. It's really fucking gore. It's unbelievably gore, and they're just like fighting big fucking bad guys, giant cockroach men running around, and it's fucking weird, but it's cool. I don't know. Terraformars is cool, but
it's cool, bro.
It just maybe
but it maybe spiraled a bit out of control.
Yeah, I maybe it was always out of control. I think the concept from the word go was out of control.
Right.
But it got unbelievably more out of control as it went. So
right.
And genuinely, the whole point of the manga was just to have big buff dudes spliced with insects fight each other.
So it's basically JoJo's with insects.
Well, JoJo's was just Hakuto no Ken, but with Hama. So.
Kenny, have you ever seen the Pokemon Buzzwole?
I don't know what that is. No.
It is a Pokemon from Sun and Moon, and it's just a big old buff mosquito, dude. It's like a big old buff mosquito. No, bro, this is legitimately a Pokemon. He's just a big old buff mosquito, dude. I mean, just insane. He's bug fighting, which is like the coolest combo, too. Buzzwole is definitely like one of my favorite Pokemon, like from the newer generations.
The fucking beasts are fucking dumb.
Yeah, but Buzzwole, David, you know you fuck with Buzzwole.
Buzzwole looks like he should be on Terraformars.
Yeah, like if any Pokemon, like kid that grew up with Pokemon doesn't like Buzzwole, something's wrong with him. Buzzwole is the coolest shit Pokemon's done in years. No, I loved it at least.
Buzzwole is pretty dope.
All right, boys, let's wrap this puppy up. So we have caught on here tonight and just giving you guys some updates on news. I mean, we honestly covered a lot of news in this episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a little bit of a departure from our normal thing that we do here, but we wanted to do, just some updates. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in the anime world with Sony buying Crunchyroll, Demon Slayer being such a best-selling film, and all this new anime that got pushed back into the early next year. We have a ton of new stuff coming out, new mangas, new series. So please, we're going to try to keep doing more. We might do, honestly, this might be a new annual thing. Every couple weeks, we do just like a news update episode. We usually do updates at the beginning of each episode anyway, so having a little standalone episode to do some anime news and update might be great. Hopefully next week we'll be back on track with another guest appearance. We were supposed to have one this week. We were supposed to have the one the week before that. Unfortunately, things happened, so it's just the way it is. But hopefully we will be back next week with a guest with us. And then after that, we should get back to our normal schedule. You'll see some more reviews from us over the weeks that follow after that. And then we may take a couple weeks of a break over the holidays, just depending on how our holiday schedules fall. We might still film. It just depends. But, you know, you can always look back here on Fridays to hopefully get your fix on new anime content. So if you like what we're doing, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. When we hit 100 subscribers, Kenny's going to build a mech live on our YouTube channel. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to review Vampire Night live. Yes, the anime that we've been talking about for weeks now, we will watch and review we'll watch every episode, and we'll review that puppy.
Vampire Night Podcast.
We will review it live for you guys if we can hit 1,000 subscribers. Remember to also check us out over on the listening platforms Spotify and Anchor. We're available on a couple other platforms which you can find through our Anchor page, which is linked in the description down below. So feel free to go check us out on any of those other platforms if you'd rather listen to us on your car drive to work or whatever that might be. You can always check us out there. The episodes usually go up on Spotify and Anchor within about 12 to 24 hours after we post them on YouTube. Other than that, thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for being a part of this. We're happy to have gone as long as we have, and to keep bringing you some other new and updates to anime stuff going on in the world. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast, so we're going to keep talking about anime, hopefully find some more unique topics to talk about as well. We really enjoyed doing more of these topical discussions. We have a couple ideas planned for some more topical discussions that hopefully will interest you. So we really hope you guys stick around. We hope you enjoy this. We hope you come back for more of the Uncensored Anime Podcast. So this is Jerry, David, and Kenny saying... peace!